The sky is splitting open, and a demonic army is marching toward the last human stronghold. A Templar-knight must unite his brotherhood, face betrayal and fear, and confront a cruel demon knight who promises extinction for mankind. When all weapons fail, a divine gift appears, a sword said to carry God's judgment. But a holy blade is not enough on its own. The Templar must prove he can lead, endure, and choose courage at the exact moment the world is ready to break. Watch closely, because every decision builds toward a confrontation that will decide Earth's future. Chapter 1. The Night the Sky Opened. I still remember the sound the world made when hope started to crack, that it wasn't thunder. It was deeper, like the sky itself was tearing. Above the ruined city, a wound of red light spread across the clouds. From that opening, shapes dropped like burning stones and landed beyond our walls with heavy, hungry purpose that we were Templars, a brotherhood built on discipline, faith, and duty. But that night, even the strongest among us swallowed fear like bitter water. The refugees behind our gates prayed in whispers. Parents covered their children's ears. Some of my knights stared at the horizon, as if staring could change what was coming. I was their commander, sworn to protect what was left of humanity. And I could feel a terrible truth. Steel and courage would not be enough. A scout stumbled in at midnight, bleeding through his cloak. "They're not raiders," he gasped. "They're an army. Thousands, maybe more, and they follow a leader." I asked the question I didn't want answered. "What kind of leader?" The scout's eyes shook. "A demon in armor. He rides through fire like it's wind. He says he will cleanse Earth of humans and claim it as his kingdom." In our war room, my brothers waited for my orders. I wanted to promise safety. I wanted to say we would win. But leadership is not pretending. Leadership is seeing clearly, then moving anyway. "We hold the walls," I said. "We protect the people. We fight for each other. And we do not give our fear a throne." They nodded, but I saw what they hid. The same thing I hid, doubt. When the meeting ended, I walked alone through the fortress chapel. The candles were low, the stone cold. I knelt where countless prayers had been spoken, and for the first time in years, my words were simple. "God," I whispered, "I will lead them, but I need help. Not for my pride, for their lives." Chapter 2. The Sword of Light. The chapel air changed. The silence grew heavy, like it was listening back. A soft glow formed above the broken altar. It wasn't the harsh red light of the sky wound. This light was warm, steady, and clean. It filled the cracks in the stone like water filling dry earth. I stood slowly, heart pounding. The glow gathered into a shape, a sword bright and real, suspended in the air as if held by an unseen hand. When my fingers touched the hilt, a calm strength rushed through my arms and chest. Not the wild rush of anger, not the shaky heat of fear. Something steadier, something that said, "You are not alone." A voice did not speak aloud, but a message settled in my mind with quiet power. "This blade is not for revenge. It is for protection. It will match the darkness you must face, but only if your heart stays true." I fell to my knees again, not from weakness, but from awe. I understood then that gifts are also tests. The sword was not a shortcut. It was a responsibility. I carried it out of the chapel. The moment my brothers saw the golden light along the blade, the room changed. Shoulders lifted, eyes sharpened. Men who had been shaking now stood taller. But I raised my hand. "Listen, this weapon is holy, but it is not magic that wins battles by itself. We still need discipline. We still need courage. And we still need each other." One of my oldest brothers stepped forward. "Will it kill their leader?" "It will let me face him," I said. "On equal ground. What happens after that depends on what kind of men we choose to be." That night, I did not sleep. I walked the walls with the glowing sword at my side, and I watched the distant fires of the enemy army spread like a second sunset. I realized something that changed me. Faith is not a feeling that arrives when life is easy. Faith is a decision you make when life is hard. Chapter 3. The Weight of Command. Morning came gray and choking with ash. I gathered the brotherhood in the yard. Some were wounded from earlier clashes. Some were young, barely old enough to shave. All of them were waiting for the same thing. Direction. I spoke plainly. "We don't fight because we hate what's in front of us. We fight because we love what's behind us. The families, the children, the future." Then we trained. We practiced shield lines until arms burned. We drilled signals until voices went hoarse. We ran messages, set traps, and prepared the streets beyond the walls for a last stand. At 18 noon I found a young soldier sitting alone, hands shaking around a broken spear. He He looked up like he expected punishment. "I can't stop thinking about dying," he said. "I keep seeing it." I crouched beside him. "So do I," I answered. "Courage isn't being blind. Courage is doing your duty while your fear is screaming." He swallowed hard. "What if I freeze?" "Then stand next to me," I said. "And if you fall, we pick you up. No one fights alone in this brotherhood." He nodded, and something in his face changed. Not confidence, not yet, but commitment. That evening we marched out from the gates, not to chase glory, but to meet the enemy away from the refugees. The divine sword glowed like a small sunrise in my hand. My brothers formed ranks around it as if it were a lighthouse in a storm. And as we approached the scorched field beyond the city, I understood another truth. The real battle begins before the first strike. It begins when you decide you will not run. Chapter 4. The Horde and the Demon Knight. They came like a tide of nightmares. Demonic warriors surged across the blackened ground, armor jagged, weapons cruel. Their screams were not human, but they carried human hatred. Behind them rose pillars of smoke and flame, and above them the torn sky pulsed red. Then I saw him. Their commander stood on a rise, wrapped in dark armor that looked alive. His pale skin shone against the soot. Long white hair whipped in the wind. His glowing red eyes locked onto us with calm confidence, like he had already counted our bones. That he lifted a clawed hand, and the horde slowed, waiting for his pleasure. When he spoke, his voice carried across the battlefield as if the air itself obeyed him. "Humans," he said, "you are a mistake that has lasted too long. Tonight, Earth becomes mine." My knights tightened their grip on shields. Some trembled that I stepped forward and raised the divine sword. Golden light poured over our front line, and the darkness around it seemed to hesitate. "We are not a mistake," I shouted back. "We are chosen to endure, and we will not bow." The demon's mouth curled into a cruel smile. "Then you will break." He dropped his hand, and the charge began. The ground shook as they hit our line. Claws scraped shields. Steel rang. Fire burst from cracked earth. My brothers held, shoulder to shoulder, driving back the first wave with discipline and unity. That I moved where the line bent, where fear threatened to open holes. Each time the sword flashed, it cut through smoke like sunlight through storm clouds. My brothers saw it and pushed harder. But the enemy did not tire. They kept coming wave after wave, as if the world itself had decided to drown us. And through it all, I felt the demon commander watching me, waiting. Not for our defeat, for my moment of weakness. That is what evil does. It studies you. It waits for you to doubt yourself. Chapter 5. Equal Ground. The battlefield opened for a heartbeat, like both armies inhaled at once. The demon commander stepped forward. The horde parted around him. His claws scraped against his armor as he walked, calm as a king approaching his throne. That I told my brothers, hold the line. Then I walked to meet him. Up close, his presence felt like cold iron pressed to the heart. His red eyes scanned me, then the sword. "So," he said softly, "your God finally sends a toy." I kept my voice steady. "This isn't a toy. It's a promise." He laughed, showing sharp teeth. "A promise that you will die with hope in your hands?" "A promise," I said, "that you won't take this world without a fight." He struck first, faster than any human should move. His claw blade crashed into my sword, and the impact threw sparks of red and gold into the air. The force drove me back a step. My arms shook. Equal conditions didn't mean easy conditions. That he attacked again and again, each blow heavy with dark power. I blocked, turned, and pushed back, relying on training more than strength. The divine sword hummed with light, answering his darkness like a bell answering a drum. Between strikes, he leaned close. "You're leading them into slaughter," he hissed. "Look at your men. They're bleeding while you chase a miracle." I saw my brothers fighting. I saw fear on their faces. I saw courage too, and I realized the demon wasn't only trying to kill me. He was trying to poison my purpose. That I planted my feet and met his eyes. "They're bleeding because they're brave," I said. "And I'm not chasing a miracle. I'm choosing my duty." For the first time, his smile faltered, just slightly, like he tasted something he hated. That we clashed again. Gold against red. Faith against cruelty. And the field around us seemed to hold its breath. Chapter 6. The Choice That Changes Everything. The duel dragged on, measured in pain and willpower. At one point, a strike slipped through and tore across my shoulder. Heat flooded my arm. My vision narrowed. The demon pressed forward, sensing weakness. "Now," he whispered, "you understand. You cannot carry them. Humans are fragile." I dropped to one knee, the sword tip scraping the ash. For a second, the world went quiet except for my own breath. And in that silence, I remembered the message in the chapel. This blade is not for revenge. It is for protection. I realized what had been happening inside me. I had been fighting to win, yes, but also to prove something. To prove I deserved the sword. To prove I was strong enough to lead. That was pride dressed as duty. That I lifted my head and looked past the demon to my brothers. They were still holding, still fighting, still choosing not to run. Leadership isn't being the strongest man on the field. Leadership is helping others believe they can stand. I rose, gripping the divine sword with both hands. You're right about one thing, I told the demon. Humans are fragile. His grin returned. Good. But we are not alone, I said. And we are not finished. I raised the sword high. The golden light grew brighter, not because I demanded it, but because I surrendered my pride and focused on protection. The light poured outward, steady and fearless, reaching my brothers like sunrise reaching a cold valley. Their lines stiffened. Their shouts grew stronger. The demonic tide hesitated. The demon snarled, red cracks spidering through the ground around him. He lunged for me with a roar that sounded like the end of prayers. That I stepped forward to meet him, not with hatred but with clear purpose. And as our weapons met again, the world seemed to balance on a single choice. Fear or faith, surrender or stand. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications so you don't miss the next tale, give the video a like, comment with your favorite moment, and share this video with someone who loves epic battles and motivational storytelling.